And it's Ken Kreitzer for CaMMVetsMedia. We're in our hometown of White Plains, New York. Very important meeting led by our mayor, Tom Roach, on pedestrian safety, the Vision Zero initiative. Mr. Mayor, good to see you. Tell us a little bit about how you discovered the Vision Zero initiative. You explained that it actually started in Europe and Sweden.
We're always looking for federal grants, and under the Biden-Harris administration, there were a lot of federal grants for different things, and one of them was traffic safety, which is something close to my heart and something we work on regularly here in White Plains. So we made an application. We participated in boot camps that are offered by some of the organizations like the National League of Cities, the U.S. Conference of Mayors, and prepared an application, and we received a $400,000 grant that allows us to take a look at the crash history in our city and try and find places where we can make improvements. And the concept of Vision Zero, which started in Sweden, is that instead of saying, listen, there's only, some people are just going to lose their lives, and that's the way it is to say we want to work towards zero. And we want to work towards zero with the recognition that pretending that everyone is going to follow all the rules and drive perfectly all the time is a false path. And so you recognize that people are going to be distracted. You work on that, but you try and build your infrastructure in a way that minimizes the impact of driver error and pedestrian error and cyclist error. And so that is what we work on, and that's why we did Vision Zero.
And the consultant you have working on this said tonight, a lot of the accidents they've studied over 10 years have happened at intersections, and that being something we're looking at closely. One thing they mentioned is when a pedestrian gets a walk signal, you still have traffic that may be coming up on the side, could make a left turn. What are some of the keys in the Vision Zero to try to reduce accidents at intersections?
Well, the key is to have traffic engineers come in and do a data-driven analysis, which is exactly what the grant money is used for. So take public comment that can cause them to evaluate their data or seek new data in certain areas, and by getting the community engaged, which we did tonight, and then see what they come back with. I think that's my focus. I want to see the ideas they come back with. It is a luxury. As the mayor of a city, we're the lowest level of government. We're where the rubber literally meets the road. Okay, we're the ones that provide fire, police, plow the streets, sweep the streets, pick up garbage. So there's no one for us to pass it on to. And so we have to look at our budgets and to have the luxury, because of this funding, to bring in independent traffic engineers with fresh eyes and training and experience in other communities to look at our infrastructure and tell us what they see based on the data and the input from the community is really invaluable. So I want to see what comes out of this.
You mentioned Montreal having been very successful with bike lanes. I know it's something, you're a biker. It's something that you'd like to see more of, people being able to bike to work or their destinations in White Plains.
Yeah, bike safely. In other parts of the world, cyclists ride their bikes for all types of purposes. In our country, it has kind of moved into, it's something you ride as a child, it's something you ride on vacation, or maybe for exercise. The people that go out at 7 in the morning and ride up Route 22. But in other parts of the world and in our community, there are people who use bikes to get to work. And when you are in a high-cost region, which the New York Metro is, offering an opportunity to people to be able to get around without having to own a car saves them a tremendous amount of money. So there's a lot of positives to it. It also actually makes things safer for drivers of cars. It makes things safer for pedestrians. So it's something that we're working on. But we really stand nearly alone in this area. We have the only protected bike lane in the county. And if someone finds evidence to the contrary, you will make me the happiest man in the world. That's one thing I would love to be. Someday someone say that's not true anymore, because I really think that that's how you build the usage, is to have the infrastructure available to people. Right now, I think many people will be afraid to ride a bike down Hamilton Avenue or down Broadway or up Mamaroneck Avenue. We need to build infrastructure that makes them feel comfortable in doing so, and then I think you'll see more participation.
Just final thought for measures that pedestrians, people out jogging like yourself, bicycling early morning. It gets, dawn is later this time of year in October. Sunset is earlier, fewer hours of daylight. wearing protective clothing and just being alert. And someone mentioned to me recently, just wearing one ear pod at a time, if you're out on the street, makes a difference. Any further thoughts for pedestrians?
I mean, I would just say be careful. And you know, you're at the end of the day, you know, and I'm subject to this. You can't presume that the other person is going to use reasonable care. And so you kind of have to be cautious with that. I'm a runner. I've been running on roads my whole life. I have my own weird techniques that I will not mention because I don't want anyone to mirror them. But they run on the presumption that the person at the stop sign has no idea I'm about to run in front of them. Because who knows, you can't presume they're not. They could be daydreaming, you know. People talk about it. If you drive the same route every day, you get to work and you don't remember anything about your trip because it's almost muscle memory. So, you know, it's unfortunate, but you have to be on guard. That doesn't mean that we have police out writing tickets for people who are driving through crosswalks while pedestrians are in them. But you're not going to catch everybody. We have people out writing speeding tickets. You're not going to catch everybody. As we mentioned tonight, we're hoping to get speed cameras in the school zones, which are permitted, but they're not permitted anywhere else in New York State, other than the state is using them now in construction zones on the interstate highways. So these are things that are in the future, but at the end of the day, I think you know, you got to keep an eye out for yourself, and it's not fair, and it's not what should be, but it is what it is.
White Plains Mayor Tom Roach, thank you for your leadership on pedestrian safety and what you're doing to attract the Vision Zero initiative to White Plains. Good to see you tonight.
Good to see you, Ken. Thank you very much.
Well, it's Ken Kreitzer for CaMMVetsMedia.